Ladies and gentlemen, we have more Forsaken information. We got some patch notes. We got info on mods. And most importantly, we have the date of the raid launch. And as usual with these Datto just reads the patch notes at your face videos, everything that I'm saying is in a link in the description if you just want to read it yourself. But first, Gambit, that thing coming in Forsaken, will be available to play for 24 hours, starting on September 1st, Saturday, at 10 a.m. Pacific. If you own Destiny 2, you can play it and try it out on that Saturday. No rewards will be given, and no progress will be saved. The raid will be launching not 3 days after, not 7 days after, but a full 10 days after Forsaken launch. Friday, September 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific is the time for the raid launch. This comes as a rather big surprise, as I believe this is the longest amount of time between an expansion launch and a raid launch that we've seen in Destiny's history. I know a lot of people wanted this gap to be longer than the 3 days we've been accustomed to, and with how much Forsaken will be potentially impacting the game, it seems like Bungie wanted it to be longer as well, much longer. As for my thoughts, I think this is good for the most part. This makes the raid race more about who the best players are and less who was able to stay up for 72 hours straight to grind the most amount of gear. This gives people time to actually enjoy the game for what it is instead of having to race through it so that they can get to grinding for the raid launch. As a content creator, it's nice because now I don't need to worry about having to grind my butt off and having to produce YouTube content at the same time. I mean, I do have to worry about that, but it's not as brutal as it was in the past. However, I worry that it may be too much time. Those who were around for Wrath of the Machine may remember people already being higher light level than the items that the raid actually dropped before the raid actually launched, and that was a 3-day launch window. While I don't think we'll see anything as extreme as that, it still does worry me to a slight degree, especially with having a full additional reset, 2 resets for certain activities being available. The fun of the day 1 raid is that it's all about the struggle. You're under-geared, you're under-leveled, you don't know anything, and you just need to perform. It's all execution. When you take away that gear struggle, well, you get Wrath of the Machine, and that was cleared in 2 hours. That's really not that exciting. So here's hoping they balanced that grind out. As for the launch of Forsaken itself, you will need to download a day 1 patch. Destiny 2 will be brought down at 7 a.m. Pacific on the 4th, and the patch will be available to download soon after. At 10 a.m., aka reset, assuming you finished your download, you can play. Alright, next I want to talk patch notes, since I think that's a little more exciting than mods. These patch notes are for patch 2.0.0, which is on August 28th. There will be a maintenance for this patch, so Destiny will be down for a few hours while it rolls out. Also, as soon as this patch hits, we are officially done with Solstice of Heroes, so if you need the gear still, you better get to grinding. If you have the full purple set, you will be able to masterwork it after the 28th, but you will not be able to upgrade a green set to blue or a blue to purple after the 28th. Okay, patch notes. Hunters, we're starting with you. First up, Marksman's Dodge is now considered an actual reload, so it will now have synergy with Kill Clip and any other reload perks. You could have argued it should have been this way from the get-go, but this change makes Kill Clip even more ridiculous than it is on certain weapons. In terms of exotic armor, Celestial Nighthawk is getting buffed, where if you kill a target with that golden gun shot, you get 33% of your super energy back. This is a really, really good buff. It makes it so you don't feel like you're completely wasting it on weaker or non-boss targets. It gives you a bit more freedom with it, which I think is great. It's perfect. But for every buff, there is a thing that some people would consider a nerf. Worm Husk Crown. Yeah, you know it's coming. will no longer start health and shield regeneration, but will now instead grant a larger health and shield bump at the start of a dodge instead of at the end. Did I find Worm Husk incredibly annoying to fight against? Absolutely. But I think this change entirely depends on how much health you end up getting back. If the health chunk is big, then dare I say this is almost a buff, since the health comes back instantly and you don't need to wait for regeneration. Speaking as someone on the receiving end of having a hunter go full HP right in front of them in a gunfight, there are times where I do actually manage to kill the hunter because the regeneration doesn't happen fast enough. In this new time to kill era of PvP, this could happen even more since everything will be doing more damage. Therefore, I am willing to argue that a big chunk of health immediately may save you more often than regeneration just starting up. Again, this totally depends on the amount of health that you are actually given. Also, you're going to be able to mod your armor to have 5 class mods in it in Forsaken. So, yeah. Warlocks, your healing rift is getting increased effectiveness. PvE, don't think this was really too much of a problem. PvP healing rift has its really good and really bad moments, and I imagine this was to try to keep pace with the time to kill changes, so we need to see how much this effectiveness was increased. Empowering Rift now increases precision damage, where before bonus damage was capped at the weapon's precision damage in PvP. This is why Empowering Rift was basically worthless in PvP for all of year 1, only increasing damage by the slightest amounts. Again, we need to see how much. Where are my numbers, Bungie? How much effectiveness? How much increased precision damage? Come on. Skull of Daira Hamkara is getting buffed. You're getting more energy from kills, and killing higher rank enemies give more energy. Finally, this is exactly what this helm needed. Great buff. Transversive steps are also getting buffed with enhanced mobility, and after you sprint for a short time, your currently held weapon will automatically reload. Nice buff. Not sure if it's going to bring it up into the top tier territory, though. Titans. Rally Barricade no longer requires you to crouch. It will just feed you ammo over time now. I see Bungie went with the f it approach with this, and I actually have no problem with it at all. That's totally fine with me. Exotics. Helm of Saint 14 will now give an overshield for a short time for allies when they pass through the Ward of Dawn, aka this sounds like Blessing of Light from Destiny 1. I think Ward of Dawn's fate is still locked to encounter design for the most part, at least from the PvE side of things. I can see this being somewhat annoying to fight against in PvP against coordinated groups though. Mask of the Quiet One will give more energy from incoming damage, and when you're critically wounded, you will get health from kills. Any sort of a buff is good for this thing. It's not bad, it's just not as good as other options available. A bunch of grenades, Axion Bolt, Flashbang, Incendiary, Storm, Scatter, Magnetic Fusion, Flux, Skip, and Void Wall are all getting their damage increased in some way. Then we have some random quality of life stuff. Stuff like swords taking shaders. About time for that. A timer has been added to the Rift and Barricade abilities to let you know how much time is left on them. It's great. Lost Sector difficulty is going up to a whopping 240 power. Really hitting the gas pedal on that one, Bungie. And escapees from the Prison of Elders will be roaming the open world, but they will not drop anything until Forsaken launches. Finally, Xur. Yeah, that guy. Xur is no longer tied to flashpoint locations. Xur no longer appears on the map, and Xur's Fated Engrams will only give pre-Forsaken exotics. Xur should have never been on the map in the first place. Good. Go look for him. He's supposed to be mysterious. Xur videos will likely return for a couple of weeks, but if he's still the same boring free exotic vendor that he has been for an entire year, they will not continue too much past September. Okay, Now it's time for mods. Year 2 mods can come from the following places. All exotic drops have a chance to come with a mod. Non-raid Year 2 legendary armor and weapons have a small chance to come with a mod. Or you can go to Banshee, who will have daily rotating mod packages for purchase, which you can buy with mod components and Glimmer. Vendor-bought weapons and armor do not come with mods. Dismantling a weapon with a mod in it will give you that mod to do with what you like. As for getting mod components, Year 2 armor mods will always give one mod component, with Year 2 weapon mods giving legendary shards as well. Year 1 legendary mods will always drop one mod component, and Year 1 rare mods have a small chance to give a mod, which is basically how it is right now. According to Bungie on Twitter, it is safe to delete mods right now, as the things I just said already happen in the game right now, but if you just wanted to wait until the patch, that is totally fine as well. When Forsaken launches, all Year 1 armor mods in your inventory and armor will deprecate and can be dismantled for parts. Year 2 armor mods can be slotted into both Year 1 and Year 2 armor slots. Exotic weapons will lose their +5 power mod with the August 28th patch, and all remaining items that have a +5 mod in them will lose it when Forsaken launches. On August 28th, all of those things we talked about in the previous Forsaken info explosion video a while back with the weapon changes will be happening. Darcy, Legend of Acreus, Tractor Cannon, and Whisper of the Worm will be staying as power weapons in Year 2 for what are hopefully obvious reasons. Elemental weapons will have their elements locked. Exotic weapon, armor, and emblem collections will be unavailable for the week before Forsaken. So if you want something, you better go grab it, otherwise you gotta wait until Forsaken launch. That's it. That's all I got. That's everything in the update. We are very close to Forsaken launch. I am very excited. I am so excited. I mean, I'm trying to keep it within reason, my excitement, but I'm very excited. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Might as well use this time to tell you guys that I will be at PAX West on Friday, absolutely for sure. Saturday, with this Gambit announcement, I may not be there. I'm still planning that. And then if I'm not there on Saturday, I will be there on Sunday in cosplay. Girl cosplay. I'm going to be a girl. So if you want a normal picture with me, you should find me on Friday. Okay? Or better yet, just keep eyes on my Twitter for more info. I'm sure I will try to plan some sort of a meetup on Friday, maybe at the Bungie booth or something. Just keep looking at the Twitter. Look at Twitter. If you do see me at PAX and you want to say hello, come say hello. Do not be afraid of me. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Except for maybe if I'm in the bathroom. Don't make it weird in the bathroom. Wait until I get out, and then you can say hello. And then I'll have washed hands, and that'll be even nicer for both of us. Okay? All right. Cool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.